Hi folks, Steve here from iSmartRepairs.com. Today I just wanted to make a quick video to show you how to repair a Samsung S4 which isn't charging or syncing with your computer. Now this one's just arrived in, and I spoke to the guy on the phone, and I know that this is what this one's come in. This is what the problem is. He's just sent a little note in with it. I'll just check and make sure it's the right one. Yeah, that's the correct one. Now, first thing we'll do is just check and see first thing we'll do is just check and make sure that the fault with the phone is what the guy who sent it in says it is. So I've just connected it up to the computer here, and immediately I can feel it starting to buzz. And it's trying to charge, and it won't charge. And what that little symbol there that keeps flashing up, hopefully you can see that little yellow symbol there, that's basically saying that the battery temperature is too low, which means there's a problem with the sensor, and it's also not syncing with the computer. So we'll just go ahead and switch this off, and we'll show you how to repair that. Now, there's a few videos on the internet saying that you can, if you get water damage or what have you, you can stick a needle in there and try and clean that up. These are $800 phones. I wouldn't do that if I were you. So first thing to do is switch the phone off. Okay, so the phone's off now. Now the tools you need for this job, if you want to do it yourself, is a 00 Phillips and one of these little spudgers, and then just something to get the screen off with. Okay, we'll start by removing the back. And to remove the back of the S4, it's just a piece of plastic. You just put your thumb in behind it. I'll show you that again. There's a little place there to get your thumbnail in. You just put it in and pull it off. Simple as that. And then you can see in the back there. Remove the battery. Yet again, dead easy. You just put your thumb in and it comes out. Remove the SIM card by pushing it in, then it pops out. So it's spring loaded. And then there are 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and they, as I said, they are a 00 Phillips. So let's just remove those screws first. Okay folks, now that the screws are removed, the first thing we need to do is remove this this bottom section here that contains a speaker, and we do that by getting your little spudger and you just put it in under and you work your way in, and eventually it pops out. Now don't worry, there aren't any wires or anything holding this down, so that just pops out, and the contacts are just there. Okay, so this is the part that we need to replace, and the problem when water got into this, the problem has arisen that either the contacts in here have been oxidized, or the temperature, and probably with this one, the temperature gauge and the electronics in this little section here have become waterlogged and damaged. So we replaced that. The part's called a USB charging port flex cable, And the particular one that I have in this is an REV19, but they also come in an REV 0.8, so you just have to make sure that you're ordering the right part for your particular phone. And you'll not be able to see, but I use this little magnifying glass here just to check the reference number that's down here. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, I'll just zoom this out a little bit. The next thing we need to do is to remove this plastic covering, and we do this by getting your thumbnail in onto there, and this whole plastic covering will come away, and just going around and popping it as you go around. Now, if you don't have a suitable thumbnail, you can obviously use one of these to get it in there and work your way around. Okay, there's it there until it all pops. And once it's all popped, it'll just lift off. Simple as that. Just set that to one side. And now we can see the innards of your S4 and the motherboard and camera and what have you is up here. But the piece that we're interested in, this piece we talked about earlier, has a connector that runs up the side and connects onto the motherboard just there with that clip. So the first thing we need to do is just unclip that by getting the spudger in under it and just gently lifting up, and it comes away. And then this is stuck down, but you just pull it back, and then there's another little connector there. Let's see if that'll focus. There's another little connector there, and that just needs to be flipped up as well. I'll do that. There, that popped up. Okay. Okay, so once that's been flipped up, just lift that to one side, and that comes from your home button, by the way. And this circuit is glued down to the fascia of the phone, so you just need to get your spudger in underneath it and start to pry it away. And also you'll need to disconnect that little antenna there and just pop that off with your thumbnail so that it comes away. And then we need to remove this metal casing, and we do that just by getting a flat screwdriver or something in under it, and it just pops off. Simple as that. And then we can continue to try and lift this and come at it from this side. And eventually it just pops off. Okay, so that's the old one removed. So now we get the new one. Just open the package up. And just simply slot it back into exactly the same place. And remove that little tab because that has glue underneath it. And just press it all into place. And then reconnect at the top. Just make sure they're lined up properly, and then you'll hear it popping in. And then reconnect this one, and it just pops on. Then reconnect the aerial. Sometimes the aerial can be a little bit tricky just to get it lined up properly. There's it. Now, one little hint here. This aerial cable runs up around the side there and then connects to the motherboard. Just make sure that there's a little groove there for it to run in. Make sure it's in the groove the whole way around, or else the plastic casing won't fit back on again. So just make sure that that's in properly. Now, before we do anything, let's test and make sure that it's working. Reconnect it and put the battery in. And then hopefully, hopefully that will start to charge. There you go. There's it charging. So that's that repaired, and obviously if it's repaired the battery charging, the sync will be repaired as well because we've put a complete new circuit in. Okay folks, I'll just disconnect that again and show you how to put the phone back together. So we put the little shield back over, the little metal shield back in place. That just clips in. Then we replace the plastic housing. And it just clips back in, and as I say, the only thing that will stop it is if that cable isn't properly aligned, and it is there. Just make sure it's clipped firmly the whole way around, and then put the speaker back in place, speaker assembly. And that's it folks, put her back together and she's a good one. Okay, put the SIM back in, put the battery back in, put the back on again. There we go. Beautiful. All we've got to do now is drop an email to the owner with the good news that their phone will be with them tomorrow and working. That's all for this video folks. I'm Steve at iSmartRepairs.com.